Okay. So hello there. All right. I had a really big Facebook glitch. It wasn't me. It's Facebook. I don't know what is going on. I tried to use the event and it worked so well last time, and I had a really hard time getting it to work. It kept saying connecting, 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 and it wasn't connecting. So I had to figure it out how to do it this way. So, all right. You know, technology, what can I say? I think from now on, I'm just trying to get everything off my screen. I've been trying for like 20 minutes trying to go live. It's ridiculous. It would kept, like the circle, like it's going, trying to connect, and it wasn't connected. Okay. So let's get over that. Let's move past that. I'm on, and that's all that matters. So, just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Carla Metzdorf. I am admin to the group Overcoming Anxiety for Stressed Out Moms Who've Had Enough, and I'm also an anxiety coach. I'm coming on today to talk to you all about being normal, how to feel normal despite the anxiety and what it is that you're experiencing. So, how I want to start this off is when I was at the height of having anxiety. I mean, I had anxiety. I was experiencing panic attacks, depression. I was insomniac. I wasn't sleeping, and I just remember it being so debilitating. And I had these thoughts that were going over and over in my mind. And the thoughts were just thoughts that made me feel crazy. I felt like, I don't know. They were just thoughts I would never have. So they made me feel like, what kind of person am I to have these kind of scary thoughts? Then I was having these symptoms. The symptoms were insane, okay? I mean, my heart always pounding, my stomach going where I couldn't eat. At one point, I was obsessed that I was gonna faint because I always felt dizzy, and what if I faint? I couldn't breathe, I had problems breathing. Every day was a different battle. I didn't know how each day was going to be. It was just scary to wake up every morning, that's if I slept, to wake up every morning and think, what kind of day am I going to have? And how am I going to feel? And how am I going to get through this day? And the thing was, okay, my kids were young, and I would take them to school. And taking them to school, I would see all the other moms. And I would look at all these other moms, okay? And I would just sit there, and a wave of envy would come over me. A wave of envy. Can any of you relate to that? Looking at other moms and feeling so envious. A wave of envy would come over me, and I would just think, I wish I was them. I just wish I was them. Because they all looked happy. They all looked normal. Normal. Whatever that meant, like they looked like they didn't have a care in the world. And I used to think to myself, why did I have to have this? Why can't I just have like some kind of like flu or something, or just like break a leg or break an arm, and something that could easily get repaired? Why did I have to have this illness that felt like it was never going to go away? Never. And here I am looking at these moms, and then I would go home and cry. Cry because I just never thought I'd ever be normal again. I never thought I would live that life again. I just wanted to go back to who I was. I mean, there was a time where I was enjoying my life. I was there. I was so excited about being a mom and being a wife and hanging out with my friends, and now all of that seemed like an impossibility. And I just couldn't imagine going through the rest of my life this way, the way I was being. And the thing that was sad is that I was only 30, 31, 30. No, I was 31 when it started, but it was like 32, 33, 34. This went on for years. And as the years went on, it just felt worse. Because even though I was trying things, right, I wasn't feeling normal again. And it was very discouraging. Because how can I try all these things and I'm still feeling this way after all these years? So it was just really hard. Hard. And that's when one day I got down on my knees and begged God to just take my life. Because I didn't know how to live anymore. And if I wasn't going to get better, I thought my family is better off without me. They're just better off without me. I'm useless anyway. Why am I even here? I'm not living life. I'm not happy like the other moms. So let's talk about this first. Normal, okay? What the heck is normal, all right? Because I don't know how to define that. So when I don't know how to define something, I look it up in the dictionary. So according to Oxford Dictionary, normal is actually conforming to a standard. Conforming to a standard is what's considered normal. So in other words, normal is a standard that you have in your mind, okay? Something that you have in your mind that you're holding yourself to. So normal to you is not going to be normal to me, maybe, or to somebody else. Normal is just a standard you set for yourself that you're saying, you know, I should be smiling. I should be laughing. I should be able to go out with my friends and not isolate. I should be able to jump out of bed every day. And I should be able to go on dates with my husband. And I should be able, we have all these shoulds for ourselves and all these expectations. And we set our own standards. Now, what's normal for you is not going to be normal for other people. So yesterday I posted in the group and I asked you all what normal means to you. What is your normal? And a lot of what you said back was normal meant not in having intrusive thoughts. Normal meant not being full of worry and fear. Normal means feeling joy, happiness, peace, calm. Normal means that you can drive, that you can sleep, that you can go to work and go on vacations and not isolate yourself. Normal means that, and this is a big one, you don't have all these scary body symptoms that take over your mind and your body. Every single day you focus on these symptoms. They seem to take over your life. So this is how you all define normal. But I want to tell you something. Some of these things that you call normal, believe it or not, intrusive thoughts, ladies, we all get them. And when I mean all of us, I mean all of us, like the human race, whether we're anxious or not anxious, believe it or not, getting an intrusive thought is not abnormal. It's actually very common to human beings. However, having anxiety, we just get more of them. Okay? So the amount of intrusive thoughts that you're getting is what's abnormal. But getting intrusive thoughts in of itself is not abnormal, okay? And worry, fear, anxiety, all those feelings, okay, what we want to call the negative feelings, right? They're also not normal. They're also, they're human. We're human. We're going to have feelings like this. We're going to feel fear. We're going to feel worry. We're going to feel anxiety. What's important is how you react. Okay? So, having fear, worry, anxiety, it's not abnormal, but, okay, so when you get them, when you're having them, it's basically not identifying with them. See, the thing is, we identify with our anxiety. We become the anxious mom. We become the mom who cries all the time. The mom who can't get out of bed, right? We become the mom who has all those intrusive thoughts. We become the mom who's always worried. I am a worrywart. I am a mom who I never have peace and calm. I'm the mom who can't drive, who has to quit her job because I can't focus. I can't get out of bed. I'm not socializing anymore. I'm isolating myself. And I'm the mom who has scary body symptoms every single day. This racing heart, I can't stand it anymore. This chest that constricts and I feel like I can't breathe and my stomach is always in knots. I'm always dizzy. I feel like I'm gonna fall over and faint. Stop identifying with anxiety. Yes, you have anxiety. But that's the whole point of all these negative emotions, I'll call it just that, okay, is not to get rid of them because we do need them. They're there for a reason, okay? We have them for a reason. The point is to not identify with them and also to not let them control your life. Get in control of the thoughts and the feelings that have taken over your life. React differently to what you're feeling. You want to overcome anxiety, ladies. The way to that is to have a great awareness of what anxiety is. And I know a lot of you think you know what anxiety is. But if you did, if you understood it, you wouldn't be stuck in the anxiety cycle, okay? So I see that there's comments and I see you have questions. I'm going to go through that after I'm done and I'll answer and comment onto everything that you ask and say, okay? I just want to get through this. But so far, are you all resonating with what I'm saying? Does it all make sense? Is there any clarity that's needed? Let me know, okay? That much I do want to know now. That that all this is making sense and that you can relate to it. Okay. Thanks, Brittany, for that. Okay. So when we want to be normal, thank you. Thank you for saying that, Adriana. Okay. We want to be normal. All right. But the thing is, whenever a mom tells me she wants to be normal, I always say, define it. And a lot of you have nicely defined it in the group yesterday. But the biggest thing is you want to be who you used to be. And And that's like another way of you defining it. I used to be normal and I just want to go back to feeling that way. And I used to feel that way too. And that's what I said before when I first started this. But the thing is, I always challenge you by saying you don't want to go back to who you used to be. You don't. I understand who you used to be. There was a happier time. It was a time when your emotions didn't take over. So you think, I just want to go back to that. But you have to understand that this all starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. So what's necessary is to change the mindset. Is that making sense, ladies? So when people say to me, I just want to be who I used to be, I always say, no, you don't. You want to be better. You want to be a different and better version of yourself. Make sense? Thanks, ladies. Thanks for letting me know that. Thank you. Good. So, you want to be a better version of yourself. You see, it is your old mindset. Now, your mindset, what is that? Just in case some of you are new to me, you never heard my definition before, but your mindset basically are your beliefs, your way of thinking, your assumptions and expectations that you have. All of these make up your mindset. And you're still thinking with that mind. And as long as you're still thinking with the same mind that started anxiety, how do you expect to overcome it? How do you expect to overcome anxiety with the same mindset? Need to change. Need to make a change. So when you're thinking about what is normal, okay? Normal for you. Now, obviously, like I said before, normal is different for everybody. And besides, even normal for you, right? Normal changes over time. I mean, your normal today was not your normal maybe even yesterday. Your normal today maybe not have been normal a month ago or a year ago or 10 years ago, The definition of our normal changes over time or even within days or hours. As a matter of fact, even after you get off this life, you may change your definition again. It changes. But there's no special training to be normal. I can't teach you to be normal because I have my own definition and so do you, But what I can tell you is what normal is, which is what I've already explained. And to understand that the way to get there, okay, if you want to be normal, first define it. And which some of you did, right? You defined it, but maybe update that now, all right? Sit down, define normal. If I had a magic wand and I was able to make you normal within the next 3 seconds, what would that look like? What would you be doing that is normal? Have you ever looked at somebody, right? And said, oh, that's not normal. Like somebody was behaving or talking, doing something, and you just looked at them and was like, oh, that's not normal, right? So, what would you want to look like or what would somebody see about you that is normal? What would you be doing? What would you be saying that's normal? Shanika, I saw a lot of comments, and as I said, I'm going to reply to those comments at the end, okay? I will get to it, I promise. This is actually not going to be much longer. So I promise there'll be time to answer questions. Smiling, Adriana? Awesome. Yeah. Just, think of of all things that would make you look or feel normal, okay? And then set goals. Now, if, like you said, smiling, Adriana, okay? Smiling. So, what goal can you set so that you can start smiling again? You know, what we want to do is start setting goals and then work towards them. If you don't know what your normal is and how to get there, like if you don't know what normal is, how are you going to work towards it, all right? So what you want to do is write that list and then work towards it. And the thing is, you may be like, but I don't know the exact steps to get there. But what you do know is what you do every day. So what you can tell yourself is what I'm doing right now something that's going to make me smile? Is what I'm doing right now, Adriana, you're also saying positive thoughts. So, you know, I mean, is what I'm going to do right now going to help me be successful and always having, well, first of all, you can always have positive thoughts. That's not even human. You know, I mean, but the thing is, you want to have more positive than negative, okay? But to change the mindset, what am I going to do in every moment to change the mindset so I can reach my goals and be different and get more normal in life? Meaning you're normal, all right? What do I have to do to work for them? You know, and part of being normal is how you're taking care of yourself. How are you talking to yourself? What are you doing? Like, what is your routine every day? Are you doing healthy things? I mean, is it normal to stay in bed all day? Is it normal not to get up and go to work? You know, is it normal to be sedentary and not exercise? Is it normal to not eat well? I mean, there's no shame here. I'm not trying to say you can't have a treat, this and that, but put healthier things in your body. So what I'm saying is part of being normal, helping you to feel better about yourself and becoming a better version of yourself, okay, is living a healthier lifestyle. Starting to move, get exercise. Your body was meant to move. I don't want this to be all about exercise, although I'm all for it, but exercise is important, ladies. It really is. Putting what you put in your body is extremely important, and just as important as what you put into your mind. Okay? Be really aware of what you put into your body. Is this good for me? Is this going to help me feel good about myself? It's hard to feel normal when you have a lot of junk in your body. You know, you do feel better about yourself when you have a better diet and your body's getting what it needs. How are you sleeping? Now, I know this is a sore subject because a lot of you are having issues with sleep because of the anxiety. I understand that. But what measures are you taking to sleep well again? Because the sleeplessness is just a symptom of the anxiety. So every day is always an opportunity for you. It's not just every day, but every moment of your life is an opportunity for you for growth, for you to do something different. If you're always doing what you always did, okay, how do you expect to grow? You need to change something, because obviously everything that you're already doing, if it hasn't been working, either whatever you're practicing hasn't been long enough, you haven't given it a chance, or you're practicing something that's just not really going to help you to overcome anxiety. You may be holding on to beliefs and, and thoughts that are just keeping you stuck. So let's say, okay, how do I feel normal while I have anxiety? Because, like, I'm working on this anxiety. I'm working on it. I'm doing something every single day to try to overcome anxiety. And I just want to try to be normal as I'm working on it. Okay, there are things you could do. First of all, awareness is key. You'll always hear me say that, because if you're not aware of something, how can you fix it, right? So just acknowledge the fact, just having the awareness that, okay, is it normal that for me to sit home every day and cry? Because that's what I did. Was that normal? I don't think so. Maybe it's normal in the anxiety world, the depression world where I lived, but it's not who I wanted to be. It's not normal in the world that I wanted to create for myself. So having this awareness of the thoughts that are in your mind, the things you're telling yourself, the actions that you were taking, okay? Having the awareness of, if I continue with these same thoughts and actions, is this going to bring me closer to my goals of being normal? Does that make sense, ladies? Does that make sense of something to look out for and to do? The other thing is, you have anxiety, and when we have anxiety, we do a lot of worrying. We worry about what we're feeling, what we're thinking. These symptoms have taken over our lives, and we worry about them constantly. What we're feeling, and we want to run to the doctor. But the thing is, a lot of the times we know it's our anxiety. We just know it is. So what I always talked about is, I've talked about this a lot, is keeping like a worry journal. Write down what you're worried about, why you're worried about it, what do you think it's going to do to you, or how it's affecting you. And then, like, take a break and go back to it, and, identify like all the thoughts, the feelings, put it all down, and just like get it out of your system. Like, what am I worried about? Like, my heart's racing. I'm worried that my heart's gonna, and I'm speaking from experience here, by the way. I used to worry that my heart's gonna come out of my chest. Seriously, like, I just thought my heart was beating so fast, it's gonna burst open. Seriously, that's what I used to worry about. It's gonna burst, because it really ran that fast. I thought it was just gonna stop. I was gonna go into cardiac arrest, and I was have a heart attack. So this is what I worried about. Now, when you write your worries down, like, what is the probability that that is definitely going to happen right now? Where is the evidence that it will happen? And then, and I used to look at that and go, okay, I've been to the doctor told me my heart's fine. So if my heart's fine, why am I convinced I'm having a heart attack? Just because my heart's beating? The only reason why my heart's beating like this is because of my anxiety. It's a symptom of the anxiety. So logic tells me I calm the anxiety, the symptom goes away. Does that make sense, ladies? And that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. Take care of the anxiety, and all these symptoms will disappear. Now, your thoughts. As you're experiencing these intrusive thoughts, first of all, what are they? They're thoughts. They're just thoughts. They're not who you are. They're not necessarily your truth, because there are thoughts that we have that, could they be true? Is it something that can happen? Well, yeah. Sometimes, I'm going to have a heart attack. What if I have a heart attack? Can I have a heart attack in the future? Well, yeah. But the thing is, we have control of things in our lives. We have control. What do you have control of? What don't you have control of? Take control of what you can. The thing you can control, what do you need to accept? What do you need to give to God? When you have these intrusive thoughts, just breathe, let them be. They're just thoughts. They can't hurt you. Don't try to push them away. Pushing thoughts away, trying to pretend they're not there, only makes them come back. Let them be. Just sit with them. It's just a thought and go on with your life. Literally, just go on with your life. Practice things like meditation and anything that's going to relax the mind and the body. All right? Do activities that bring joy to you. So these are things to do if you want to feel normal as you are experiencing anxiety. Do something that brings you joy. Now, I know you haven't been happy in a while, but are you somebody who loves to read? Read. And if you can't sit still for 2 seconds to read, and I understand what that is because I love to read, and sometimes I couldn't sit still. I couldn't and I couldn't read. If you are into working out, work out. You like to read, read. If you like to, what are other hobbies that you have? Whatever hobby, whatever brings you joy. If you like to garden, go digging. Just go garden. And if it's winter and it's cold and you can't garden, what else? Do you like to color? Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to sew? Do you like to knit? Do more of what brings you joy. Is there something that you always wanted to try you haven't tried yet? Do that. Do that. See if you like it. See if that's something else you can focus on. Put your mind off your problem and do something that will make you feel normal. That will bring pleasure. You like to have sex, ladies? Have sex. And I'm being so serious here. I'm very, very serious. What is that anxiety trying to tell you? Anxiety, remember, is a warning signal. Anxiety and all the other negative emotions that we get, they're there for a reason. They're trying to warn you. They're trying to tell you something. What is it trying to tell you? What needs your attention? Are you extremely stressed out? Do something about it. Are you sick? Something wrong? Do something about it. Are you in a loveless marriage? Do something about it. Now I know it's easier said than done, Carla. I get it. I get it. But ladies, until you face the realities, until you do, you face these issues, okay? They may linger in your life. Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zones and take action so that we can lead a quote-unquote normal life. So what I want to do is I want to go through the comments now. I'm going to go through all the comments and see. Wow, there's a lot here. Okay. And it's not letting me scroll. Let me scroll. So, Carol, actually, you're making a comment about the devil. So, yes, I mean, is there evil in the world? Yes. Is the devil real? Well, according to the Bible, he sure is. And he will bring sin, and he will like make you sin so you don't have a good relationship with God. But listen, who is ultimately in control is God. I mean, the devil's in the world. He is what God calls as the ruler of the world, okay? But the thing is, Jesus died on that cross. He has more power, all right? He has power. We are to not fear, because even though, we get these thoughts and we do things that we don't understand why we're doing them, because we know it's wrong. We know we should be doing something different, right? But even though we know we should be doing something different, we still choose to do the thing that we know is wrong, right? Yeah, that's gonna happen. And you want to say, well, I'm only human. Well, that's the truth, okay? So anything in our mind that's coming across negative, yeah, that could be the devil putting things in our mind, okay? But it's up to us to take control, all right? We ultimately have control. And God, okay, he has control of the devil. God's not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do, because you have free will. But he's not going to allow the devil, okay, to do something to you that's not part of God's plan. Does that make sense? And I know this because I've read the book of Job several times, and I've studied, and I just know who's really in control. And I don't think, we have any fear of the devil winning over us if we put our trust in God and we obey God and his word. And sorry, this keeps going back and forth. I'm trying to stay okay. So what else you said was Martha, I see your messages. I will contact you, but I'm on the live right now. I will contact you as soon as I get off the live, okay? Why I can't be normal like them? Yep, Caitlin. Yes, I tell myself I just want to be like them. Okay, great. So you're all relating to me. Can I talk to you privately? Yes, you can. Contact me. Important. Okay. Wow. This is being very jumpy. I see there's stuff and it won't let me. Okay. If you missed the beginning of this live, there's the replay. As soon as I get off, it's going to process and the replay will play. I'm glad that this is making sense to so many of you. Don't worry about missing anything. You will always catch the replay. So you're saying to start doing things, to do different things. Well, Shanika, yeah. I mean, I know you came on late, but, I was talking about mindset, all right? The point is not to try to be who you were and to go back to who you were. The point is trying to be someone different. In other words, you need to change your mindset, all right? It's not just so much in the things that you do on the outside, it's what you're doing on the inside. The mind is where it all starts. So to make a change, start with the mindset. And as you change your mindset, things are going to change around you, because you're going to change how you react to things. And that's ultimately what you want, to react differently. Okay? React differently, because stress is not going anywhere, ladies. You're going to have stress the rest of your life. That's not something that just happens. You're a mom, right? You're a spouse. Do you work? Do you own a house? Do you have a business? All these things bring stress into your life. I don't think anyone lives a stress-free life. So the best thing you could do for yourself is to learn, to understand how to react to that stress in your life. Now, if you don't change anything and you just say, well, you stay with the same mindset, you're going to always get what you always got. So let me see what else is here. If there's any questions, put them in the comments. I'm getting towards the end here. You're talking about paint by number. You're doing this for people and not charging helps my faith in humanity. Well, thank you, January. I mean, yes, these live trainings are all free, and I would never charge for you to be in my group or to have these trainings, but I do have programs I provide outside of the group. Those I do charge, and that's because I meet with you one-on-one. And, when I give these live trainings, I'm talking to, right now, I'm talking to 3,000 women. So I'm being very general, you know what I'm saying? But when I work with you one-on-one, I'm very specific to what you are dealing with, what you're experiencing. So I talk more to your lifestyle, to what is happening in your life, and we make changes based on what you need. Right now I'm talking to so many of you, but I can focus just on one of you when we work one-on-one, and that I do need to charge for. I would be interested in those just because of you talking like this. Oh, okay, January. Well, just message me in Messenger and we'll talk about it. We'll set up a meeting so that we can talk about what's available and how like any of those programs can help you specifically. How do we keep the stress down? Well, Shanika, in the guide section, I have trainings about stress, what stress is, and how to deal with stress. So basically, go to the guide section. And, for anybody who is listening to this live in the replay, the guide section, okay, I do these trainings every Thursday unless I can't, and I'll do it like another day of the week, or I'll just skip a week. But mostly I do my live trainings on Thursday. And then I take the replays and I put them in the guides section. So if you go there right now, there's like over 100 of them. I've touched most subjects, most things relating to anxiety. Everything that I do is about anxiety. What it is, why it's consuming you, and how to overcome it. I can't possibly tell you everything on one live every single week. And every time you post something in the group, I try to answer you best I could. But if I've given a live on it, it's so much easier for you to watch a live training and get all your answers than me to type out every single time what to do. So you're going to read a lot in the group of just go to the guide section. I try to name these live trainings kind of plainly, so that you understand, what the live is about. But listen, if there is a live that you want me to talk about that you don't see in the guide section, or if you're in the guide section and you're unsure which one to look at, just message me and say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing and what do you recommend me to watch? And I'll recommend something, as long as I know what it is you're experiencing. But all those live trainings are there to help the majority of you. I mean, some of you are actually sleeping well, so maybe you don't want to watch the live all about sleep. There's a couple of those. Some of you are not you're getting intrusive thoughts, but they're not bothering you so much. What's bothering you is the sleep. So maybe you don't want to watch the thoughts so much, but you want to sleep. So, that's why it's really important for me to understand what you're experiencing. But I want to talk about normal and normalcy. The reason why I had to do this is because when I speak to the majority of you, I get the same answers all the time of that. You just want to be normal. And that's fine. But you need to define that first. And then you need to create goals and a plan to get there. How you're going to, let's say, smile again. How are you going to not be bothered by those intrusive thoughts? How are you going to, feel better about all those symptoms that you get every day? Because a normal mom does not go around worried about how fast her heart's beating every day. A normal mom does not worry about, a normal mom not crying every day, right? That's what we're telling ourselves. My live trainings will help you to grow in awareness. Part of growing in awareness will help you to feel normal about what you're experiencing and why, and how to change it. And we can always get on a call and see how we could work together so that you have more awareness and that you have more support and accountability as you're trying to overcome this and create that new normal in your life. So, ladies, if you're just coming on, I'm about to get off. But the replay will be in the group. Watch it as many times as you need to. I really need to learn how to handle my health anxiety. Juanita, I have a live training all about health anxiety. Actually, I think there's 2. So go through the live trainings. It will tell you about health anxiety. That's a really big problem. I mean, a lot of us have health anxiety. I had health anxiety really bad. And I have overcome so much of that and grown in my faith. Trusting in a higher power has really helped with that too. So, watch the replay. If you have any comments, any questions. Whoa, I want to stop being afraid. I wake up scared. I go to bed scared. Meds scare me. Okay. Yeah. I understand that, Juanita. Watch that training about health anxiety, and see what you can implement. And, we could always get on a call and see, what training is good for you, or how we could work together so that I could really help you and support you to overcome this. But as far as feeling normal, ladies, rewatch this replay. When it goes to replay, rewatch it as many times as you need. Remember, normal is just the standard that you're setting for yourself. And you can be the mom who laughs and smiles again, who has peace, who's happy. It is possible. It will happen. All right. It's, what's going to help too is don't compare yourself to everybody. Just take the action, using, everything that I talked about today. And you're going to start feeling normal the moment you stop identifying with anxiety and you stop allowing it to take over your life, and you grow in awareness and take the actions you need to overcome this. Be well, ladies. I'm sorry again. This was a Facebook thing. This was not me this time. I don't know what's happening. And I'm getting really frustrated, and I'm thinking of just going live on my phone from now on and not worrying about the computer. It's just that I was trying to be on YouTube as well. and the connection is not taking for whatever reason. So I may not be able to do that anymore. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. But have a great day. And keep putting your questions and comments in the comments section or message me. And I'm going to answer it later, okay? Be well. Take care. See you next time. Have a great week, ladies. Bye.